This module we will talk about the outcomes of employee engagement. As I said in the last 3 or 4 modules, that yes, there is a consensus among researchers and practitioners that employee engagement is a distinct uh, construct. So now there is a surge in interest about what are the outcomes of employee engagement. For example, if the employees are engaged, or when the employees are engaged in an organization, what would be the outcomes for organization, what would be the outcomes for employees. So this is the first of those modules, and we will see that what research has reported about the outcomes of employee engagement. So although the body of research is still growing, because further research is being published, and more researchers are taking interest into examining the outcomes of employee engagement. However, what has been documented, we will just see very briefly. So, improved individual health and well-being. It has been reported that by Schauffele and Baker in 2004, Baker et al. 2005, 2008, and in many other studies, that when employees are engaged in their job, when they are physically and mentally and emotionally engaged in their job, as a result, it leads to individual and employee well-being. Because when you compare it with the job dissatisfaction, for example, or when you compare it with the disengagement, what would be happening at work if you are disengaged? The job would be boring. It would be hard to pass 8 hours or 7 hours. You don't feel that you are giving anything to the organization, to the customers, or to the people, or to the society. Or you may feel that your job is meaningless, and it is not giving you intrinsic satisfaction or intrinsic motivation. How would you feel about that kind of job? How would you feel about that type of job? On the contrary, when something is meaningful, and when something is when something you feel that it is important to the society, or important to the organization, or important to the public, or you are helping others, in other words, so you may see that, okay, that may result in individual well-being, psychological well-being, or a social well-being, or a physical well-being, whatsoever well-being you consider at this time. So another research, Harter et al. This has been discussed in the beginning of the module, that reduced sickness-related absence has been reported when employees are those employees who are engaged and those employees who are disengaged. So the sickness-related absence is compared to 2.7 and 6.2. It has been found that those employees who are or who were disengaged and who participated in that research, the sickness related absence was 6.2 days per month, whereas the sickness related absence with the engaged employee was 2.7 days per month on average. So, this is another outcome of employee engagement. Reduce turnover. When we say turnover, I hope you people understand. I have been talking about it sometimes in the past. Turnover is that over a specific period of time, how much employees or how many employees have left the organization. For example, if out of 1,050 employees have left the organization over the last 1 year, so you can think about the turnover rate is 5%. So what could happen if 5% employees are leaving the organization every year? So that is definitely a cost to the organization. So turnover is the actual number of employees who have left the organization over a specific period of time. So this has been monitored by Alphas et al. In 2010, and they found that organizations where employees are engaged, the turnover or turnover rate is low, or the turnover intentions are low. So individual productivity and performance. Well, what measures have been taken for productivity and performance that matters? It could be subjective measures of individual productivity, or it could be objective measures of individual productivity. However, there is a sufficient body of research that has investigated both the subjective measures of employee engagement, that is the perceived or perceptions, of employees or their supervisors about the employees' performance. And similarly, the objective measures, that is the actual job, for example, the number of units somebody produced, the number of customers you freight, or whatsoever is in terms of objective measures in relation to your job. So that study of US Fortune 100 companies, quality errors were significantly higher for poorly engaged teams. So this is an important outcome, that when you see that employees are disengaged, the quality errors are high, and when employees are highly engaged, the quality errors are low in the organization. For example, if you are manufacturing shoes, disengaged employees may likely to produce a pair of shoes that may be rejected by the quality control. While on the other hand, the number of errors with the engaged employees are uh, less than the disengaged employees. So, as a result, you can see that why researchers and why practitioners are interested in knowing why employee engagement or what drives employee engagement, because of the positive outcomes for both, for employees and the organizations. Thank you.